Have you ever really looked at a saw? You'd think it's about as simple as a tool gets, right? A handle, a blade, some teeth, that's it. But what if I told you that this simple object is hiding a deep secret about culture, history, and even the way we use our own bodies? Okay, let's dive into this amazing story that's been hiding in plain sight.
Just think about it for a second. When you use a saw, when does the actual cutting happen? Is it when you push it away from you or when you pull it back towards you? The answer might feel obvious, but it's not. And that answer is actually the key to a much, much bigger puzzle, because, as you're about to see, not all saws are made the same.
And right here, this is the heart of the mystery. The standard Western saw, the one most of us probably have in our garage, it cuts on the push stroke. But the traditional Japanese saw, the nokogiri, does the exact opposite. It cuts on the pull stroke. Now, this isn't just some random quirk of design. No way! It's a massive clue, pointing to a really fundamental difference in how these tools were designed to work with us, with the human body. So, to solve this mystery, we've got to leave the workshop behind. We have to look into something else, biomechanics. See, the answer isn't in the wood or the steel of the saw, it's in us. It's all about the hidden logic of our own bodies. And here's the absolute core of the idea. A tool evolves to perfectly, beautifully match the most powerful and stable ways that people can move. It's a design principle that's so deep and so intuitive, we usually don't even realize it's there. The source material actually gives this a name, the law of physicality in tools. It's this fantastic idea that a whole culture's approach to movement, how it generates force, how it maintains stability, that whole philosophy gets encoded directly into the tools they make. So let's see how this actually plays out. First, let's head over to Japan and take a closer look at the art of the pull-stroke saw. Okay, this is where it gets really cool. In a traditional Japanese stance, the center of gravity is often set back on the heels. Now, from that position, your core muscles are at their most stable and powerful when you're pulling something inward, toward your body's center. And the Japanese saw? It's designed to perfectly harness that exact motion. Cutting on the pull stroke means the force is always keeping the blade straight and under tension. It's just brilliant. And this is the genius of that design. Because the blade is always being pulled taut, it doesn't need to be thick to stop it from bending. This lets them make these incredibly thin, flexible blades that create exceptionally clean, precise, and narrow cuts. It's a tool literally born from a philosophy of stability and control, making it perfect for really delicate and detailed work. All right, now let's flip the script. We'll head over to the West and see how this very same law ends up creating a completely different tool. Let's look at the power of the push. So the Western approach to generating power is often totally different. Think about it. A lot of power comes from pushing outward, from an upright stance, engaging your core and projecting force away from your body. So if you're going to design a saw for that kind of movement, it has to cut on the push stroke. But this creates a whole new engineering problem. What happens when you push on a long, thin piece of metal? It wants to buckle and bend. I love this quote from the source material. It just captures the feeling perfectly. The motion of using a Western saw is explosive. It's all about projecting that power outward. It's less about that steady control and way more about dynamic force. And the tool itself reflects this. To fight that bending force when you're pushing, the blade of a Western saw has to be thick and heavy and rigid. So you might lose a bit of that super fine precision, but what you gain is just raw power and speed. It's the perfect design for dynamic, heavy-duty work where the goal is just to remove a lot of material fast. So let's put it all together and see what these two very different tools really tell us about the cultures that made them. When you lay them out side by side like this, the differences are just crystal clear. And it all boils down to how force is used. The Western saw is all about compression, that powerful push, which demands a thick, rigid blade so it won't buckle. The Japanese saw, in complete contrast, works under tension, using that pull stroke to keep its unbelievably thin blade perfectly straight and true. And those technical details, they translate directly to what these saws are actually good for. The push saw is a beast when it comes to speed and force, perfect for big construction jobs. The pull saw, on the other hand, is all about accuracy and finesse, which is why it's the go-to tool for fine woodworking and detailed crafts. Two saws, two completely different philosophies of work. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that tools are never just tools. They are cultural artifacts. They're like a physical language telling the story of how a society solves problems. Their design is shaped by the hidden logic of our own bodies. That simple choice between push and pull, well, it reveals two totally different ways of thinking about physicality. It just proves that sometimes the most boring, everyday objects around us are telling the most complex and fascinating stories. And this leaves us with one final thought. The way you hold a kitchen knife, the angle of a shovel, the design of the chair you're sitting in, our world is just filled with objects that have been shaped by this same law of physicality. So the next time you pick up any simple tool, just take a closer look. What hidden story is it telling about you?